I'm in a suit and tie today. I went to Kelly Staffing Services with my good friend from across the parking lot. And what we were told was roughly things are kind of slow, but there may be opportunity somewhere. I went to the engineering office and I went by the regular staffing office. My friend only went by the regular staffing because they are not an engineer. But anyway, we found out that, okay, she had heard about a lot of opportunities when she was looking online, which was why she wanted to go by. And I said, oh, maybe I can go by too. And I did a lot of good work for myself in preparing to go. I got dressed up. I figured out how to get dressed up. I mean, it sounds simple, but when you don't do it often and you've moved into a new place, you're sort of like, oh shoot, where are those shoes that I know I have that I don't know where I put them? And oh darn, don't I have some dress socks? I seem to remember some dress socks. So, it was good for me. I found my dress shirt too, this nice white shirt that you see me wearing. I'm Superman. And I know where my tie is. And in general, I'm kind of content with the applying for job experience, which unfortunately may or may not result in an actual job. We got to the staffing office. I went to the engineering section. I spoke with a person who said, send me your resume via the online system. They said they weren't available because they had a meeting very shortly, but they did take the time to speak to me, which I appreciate. So I'm going to send them my information pretty much as soon as I'm done recording and uploading this. I hope. Hope I remember to do that. And then, after I did that, since it was so quick, I decided, oh, I'll go down and see what the regular plain old office job staffing is doing. Because they have multiple offices. I worked for another temp agency. They didn't have so many offices, even within one office. It's like all the same service, but it's a big temp service, so it seems. My friend is familiar with them from up north, which is kind of a sort of a good excuse me, something caught my throat. Which is a sort of good recommendation, I guess. I trust her, but I'm not sure that's going to work out. So I'm planning to put together some posters and promote myself as a tutor because when all else fails, that's some money, and I get to help people doing it. I do like helping people. And I mostly try to stick to the basic subjects where I did really well. So I'm looking at physics and chemistry, and I'm planning to work on statics some, if anybody's interested. I did well with statics, but I had Professor Hankins. So, I mean, he's a good teacher, so just about everyone does well with him. Anyway, I'm going to look at where the classes are and figure out where those buildings are and then go set up my posters there at the public locations, not on those wonderful poster boards that say department only, do not post here. Gotta be careful about that. Let's see, what else have I been doing? I also need to go down to the staffing service I was originally interested in because I'm familiar with them. And when I talk to them, I will probably not be so dressed up because I'm going to have to walk 2 or 3 miles to do it. Or maybe I'll talk to my other friend and say, hey, you know how that one place didn't work out for us? Let's go to the other one. If I look them up and it looks promising, I'm going to try it. Oh, excuse me. I just noticed my suit had something on it, and I think it's supposed to be there. I'm not going to cut it off until I'm sure it's more than just a tag. Or not more than just a tag. I mean, it's a nice suit. I wouldn't want to mess it up. Besides, if I cut off the tags, then how would anybody know that it was a suit? They might think it was just like all those other suits, which it is, if it doesn't have tags. Anyway, what am I doing? I'm in a suit. Here, I'll let you guys get a good look at me in a suit. Take a good look, it won't happen again. And now I'm all the way across the room and I can't see myself. Yeah, I look good, don't I? I also need to clean my apartment. I said I also need to clean my apartment. Okay. So what have I been doing for the past week? Because that's a big deal. Well, I saw my grades, and they're not great, but they're not terrible. I'm still sincerely considering withdrawing if I can't get into the guidance and navigation like I want to. But right now, I'm going to be looking. I'm going to be looking for jobs in my field, very much. Because if I got a job that was a job that I would want after I graduate, but I can get it before I graduate, then I don't really need the grad school. But right now, graduate school, it looks like I'll be here at least one more semester, even if I decide not to follow through with it, because, well, if you can't study what you came here to study, then why are you here? So I'm going to see if those classes open up, or if there's other similar classes that I wasn't aware of that I can take. I did find one class. It involved rotating coordinate systems that I was interested in. I said, oh, why don't I look up Dr. Mazzolini? He's usually a good professor about grades. He's always a good professor. He's usually very good about grades. I could look that up. Anyway, I'm trying to make sure that I stick to things that I know that I know. I kind of went out on a limb a little bit, and it would have been okay if I hadn't gotten the flu. So next semester, I'm going to try not to get sick. Yeah, that's a plan. That was the plan this semester, and it didn't work out. Stupid jerk sneezed on me during a magic tournament. When I told the store owner that was why I'd missed 2 tournaments, and I'd also missed like a bunch of school, he was not happy that somebody had sneezed on me. I wish I'd been able to identify him, but oops. Okay. So I have 2 separate ideas for posters. I'm trying to decide which one is most effective. Here I get to apply my psychology, because marketing is interesting. The goal with a good ad is not necessarily to... You want to grab the person's attention, and you also want to make sure that they're paying attention, and ultimately you want them to think about you. And when they see your ad over and over, and it's distinctive, and they think about it, then they're more likely to, hire you or just view the product in general favorably. So I'm trying to come up with good, salient posters, but I need just 1 or 2 really good ones. And I have 2 in my mind right now, one of which I think is good, but maybe over the line, and the other one I think is funny, but it might be a little bit too abstractly funny, they both would work. And I may end up making them both. But I've got several different plans. And I do like tutoring. My mother's been discussing making educational videos, and I've expressed my interest in helping her with that, especially in the areas of the sciences and math. I have this wonderful experience with tutoring that I would like to bring to the working with her in that area. She's a reading teacher. She's very good with elementary students, elementary level students. And I'm a little bit better with the higher level math and science, especially science, especially higher level science, but like physics. Physics is great. Involves a lot of drawing arrows. My approach to physics is a little bit different from what you usually see. A lot of the people start with the equations, and I like to start with the drawing pictures and how you break down the different vectors, and it's basically most of the work that I see is algebraically based, which basically means you look up a formula and you memorize it and then you apply it on the test. That works if you're good at memorizing lots and lots of formulas, but it doesn't give you that understanding that you get if you have a good geometric explanation for something. And because humans are visual thinkers, I really like having a geometric explanation. And if it doesn't work for somebody, then it doesn't work for them. But it's a different approach, and as they say in all of the teaching magazines, there's not one way for a classroom of 30 students to learn. There's 30 ways. And yeah. Right now, I'm still sort of job hunting. Although I did realize that I have a little bit more money to work with than I thought I did, because the way to save account thing that I have with Wachovia has been saving a little bit more money than I remembered it saving. And it's all my money, but it's money I wasn't necessarily paying as close attention to as I should have. Yeah. There was a monthly transfer that I'd overlooked, which, in my calculations, which means I have more money than I thought. Yay! Money! Everybody likes money, right? As you can see, I'm planning to clean some. I now have a lot of time on my hands, so I'm going to be straightening up this place. You see where I was ironing my shirt. I learned how to iron. That's good, right? And I sort of vaguely have sort of plans with a friend later this week. I should email them and firm it up. And I have a friend who I wasn't expecting to have any job leads for, who I can now direct toward a place where he might find work. So I'm happy, and I hope he's happy. And I hope this reaches everybody well. And I'm also posting a new picture on my Facebook of me in my suit, which I touched up. I hope everybody's doing great, and I guess I'll see you around.